So imagine a kitchen where you're actually receiving family. Any kitchen. Now imagine my mother's kitchen, full of pots and pans in one corner, strainers of sabzi, a mix of fresh herbs that we make to accompany any meal. And then you see two big bowls of rice, one of rice, Persian style. You want to make it with a little bit of cooking and straining and steaming, and it's so full of smell in the whole house because of this rice. So then you've got on the stovetop, you've got two pots of wonderful stew, one made with beef, beans, and green herbs, which is khoresh sabzi, which everyone raves about, and the whole house smells like it. And the other one is fesenjoon, my favorite, pomegranate walnut stew that is made with duck. Imagine that. Anyways, ooh. And then you've got on the other end tons of pots and plates, but there's ingredients of a salad all over the kitchen, some on the tables, some on the countertop, some wilted, and some just way too close to uncooked meat and the stovetop. Just to give you an idea of the chaos. And then you've got all the pots and pans that are right beside the stove, the sink, obviously. I'm the one that's trying to make sense of it all, and I go about trying to make space and clean up, as well as cleaning some of the food that's left over to be cleaned, to be cooked. So I kind of take a deep breath, and in this mindful stoicism, I try to get myself ready for a wonderful family meal, keeping my emotions and my mind in check. My mother, on the other hand, she is clearly not hiding her panic, kind of running around and just trying to get things together and trying to make sense of the mess and the chaos that's in the kitchen. Then, as I'm trying to get some salad ready, I kind of make myself this invisible cloak, right? Just this bubble of invisible cloak all around me, trying to remind myself, it's all good, it's okay, you don't need to panic. If anybody says anything, you've got your cloak and you're secure. The next thing you know, the first batch of people start to arrive. Food is prepped and things are starting to make sense, and my sister comes in and she looks at me and she says, "Oh, you look fancy. You look like you lost weight." And before I could say anything, my mother kind of turns around, "Oh, it's because she isn't eating enough." And I kind of just stand there dumbfounded, and I say, "Yeah, thanks. It must be the dress." Really appreciate it. Next thing you know, you hear all the commotion towards the front of the house, and everybody is saying their hellos. And my brother walks in following her, saying, "Oh my God, you look like a stick. You're gonna, get some meat on you. You're gonna disappear if you keep on going like this." And then he starts laughing, trying to make light of the backhanded compliment that he just gave me, his own kind of nice way of showing me love. You know, brothers, sisters. The next thing you know, as I'm washing the dishes and trying to clear up some more and make sense of all the commotion that's going on with the new people coming in and all the mother running around and the rice being cooked, and I see from the corner of my eye, my mother adding a heaping ladle of like butter, almost like a whole pack, into the rice. And I tell myself, "Oh my God, wow, that's a lot of rice." And I shyly remark and get met, it's good for the body and it makes it taste great. And you need it anyways. So what the heck? Don't worry about it. Again, I kind of hold the urge from replying and say, okay, I'm here just to have a smooth sailing family dinner anyways, right? And it's her event. She's going to say and do whatever she wants. So let it be. As I look from the side, my niece has come in and now she's going back out and she just heard this whole conversation and she says, oh my God, just kind of whispering, oh my God, who said butter was good for you? That's not true. You know, generational concepts and, you know, kind of missed from just beliefs that don't equal what my mom thinks versus what she thinks and what she knows versus what she knows. I know butter is good for you, but like really to that extent in one sitting? I don't know. Maybe she just wants to fatten up the whole family. And then, please forgive me. So just to give you a context, when I was a child, we fled the country when I was 2 years old from the deserts of Pakistan, and we fled the country through the deserts of Pakistan, trying to run away from the regime change and the war in Iran. So food security was a priority. And food security meant that food was not to be wasted, it was not to be refused, and food was kind of like a token of love and care and appreciation that people would offer to the extent that they had. You were not to refuse something that you didn't like, and you were not to say yes on the first trial. Tarof, pleasantries, initially of good intent, but to show you that, hey, I've got good manners as well. I learned my lessons when I was a child, but really from another generation and era. During dinner, as everybody goes to the table, we're enjoying the abundance and having chit-chat, small talk, you know, nothing really special. And through it all, there's this tainted feel of passive aggressiveness. And then you hear my mother offer meat to a vegetarian or yogurt to a vegan. You know, hey, if that makes her happy, why not? But really, meat to a vegetarian? And you've known her for 30 years now? So we just kind of keep on talking, and she kind of keeps on having these comments, you know, why don't you eat this? Eat more of this. Let me serve you that. Oh, you didn't eat anything after missing the first 2 plates that you had. Oh, here, eat some more rice. And she just adds a heaping spoonful into your plate without you accepting it, kind of presumptuously, thinking, hey, she needs it anyways, right? Here you go. More meat, more rice, let me do that, let me do here. But for her, this is love. You know, they don't know the difference of what love is in our generation. So, Please forgive me. So I take a breath, as I do now. And I try to start clearing the plates and the pots and the pans before everybody gets up off the dinner table, because otherwise everything is going to be chaotic and I'm the one that's going to have to stay to clean up after. And I don't want to be staying that late. The message I want to bring here is there is so much that we forget about food, the value it has, and the culture it comes from. But perhaps that incessant insistence, advice, and opinion, that chorus of comments that just keeps on coming along, is unnecessary and is not really transferring the message that is meant to transfer. The consideration is considered the highest form of love, but consideration with judgment attached to it just kind of dilutes that love a little. So I invite you to think of all the generational shifts and changes that happen throughout a meal, and remember that it's all a form of love, but that you don't have to take it so personal, and that love that's kind of diluted with all those opinions doesn't have to be. You have the right to step up, which is really hard for a Persian girl, even at 45, and actually put your boundaries. Set those boundaries, unapologetically express yourself without kind of getting into other people's heartaches or good intentions or being rude. So mind the generational gap. Have a mindful relationship with your food and with your family. And try to keep relationship not only with the food that you eat, but with how you eat it and who you eat it with. Try to keep that in your mind every time that you go into these family meetings that just kind of ends up stressing you in some cases, right? I thank you very much.